to this Vicinity session. Today's session we are going to learn how to set up the Gateway API and the agent. To do so, we need to access the GitHub of Vicinity and look for the Docker Services repository. Here you can read all the instructions of how to set up and run these services. We need first to copy the Git clone of this repository. Then we are going to create a local folder in our desktop, in my case is Vicinity Services, that will store what we are going to download with the git command. Then we need to move to that folder, in my case I'm already there, and paste the command. We download the repository, and we must grant a special permission to that folder. In this case with sudo chmod. Once we have granted those services, we can start exploring what we downloaded. If we open the folder, we can see here the README file, the Docker Compose, and then a config folder. Inside that folder, we can find other two. The gateway folder enables us to configure and set up the gateway, but this is not necessary because it's already set up. Then we have the agent folder that allows to set up the agent. If we open it, we can find two files, the service config and the config one, and a folder, db, which will be empty. However, when we start the services, this folder will be filled with files. Regarding the service config, we don't need to touch this file. The only thing we need to set up is the config1.json. If we open this file, we will be able to see that we need to submit here the agent ID and the password. In this case, when we will create an access point in the neighborhood manager, we had to write here as agent ID the AGD that will be assigned to this access point. And the password will be the same that you used to create the access point. And then we have the adapter ID, which you can write actually anything. We suggest to use a name that means something to the ones that may read this file. Going back, now what we're going to do is to create an access point before starting these services. To do so, we need to log in our neighborhood manager and then go to the access point tab. Here we have to click on create access point, and we need to set here the name, for instance test AP. Then we need to pick a password. And that's it. Now here we have the AGP, which we need to copy in order to set up our services. Once we have copied the AGD, we need to go to the config folder agent config1.json. We're going to paste here the AGD, and here we are going to type the password of the access point. And now we have to set up the adapter name. In this case will be test adapter. You can save this config file and go back. And now we should open a terminal. Be sure we are actually in the folder of the Docker services. In this case I can see here the receipt, and now type Docker Compose app. And now we will see how Docker is initialized, and here we have the log of the gateway and the agent. And when this stops, it will mean that the services are ready and you can start registering a theme description. This was all about how to set up and start the services of the Gateway API and the agent. Thank you very much for watching.